Hey, happy Friday, everyone. It's Greg Stevens with the Stevens Group, coming back to you. This is our second week in a row now, doing our questions about real estate. I'm here, as usual, with my lovely wife, Erica.
Hello. Go ahead.
Good, okay.
We just want to thank everybody for watching last week. We got a lot of good comments back, and we got a few questions and things that are going on. So I know one thing this week we do want to talk about Homestead because that's a time-sensitive thing.
Yes, Homestead's coming up, so we're definitely going to talk about that. Before we get into that, though, I wanted to we were talking a little bit about what we're going to do with this live thing that we're doing every week, and we kind of wanted to make it a little fun, and so but still relaxed at the same time. So we brainstormed a little bit and came up with an idea, and we thought about having a little bit of tea each time that we do this live broadcast. So we're going to be having some tea in the afternoon while we talk about real estate, and we're going to be calling this Realty with Real Tea. Okay.
We're so cute.
So, yes. So, feel free to go make yourself some tea and sit back and learn some good stuff. We're going to talk first about, you said...
Yes, about Homestead. One of our questions that we got, actually, is from a buyer that bought a house from us last year, and they are new to Florida, so they don't even know what Homestead is, and they were asking, how do we do that? What's the benefit? And what's the time frame of when to do that? So... that's going to be our first question.
Mm-hmm. So the deadline for doing homestead exemption is March the 1st. If you bought a house last year in 2016 and you were living in that house by January the 1st of 2017, then you have until March the 1st to file your homestead exemption. So what is homestead exemption? That is a savings for your taxes, for your property taxes, that can reduce your property assessed value by up to $50,000. What does $50,000 reduction in assessed value mean to you? Probably somewhere between $700 and $800 here in Central Florida of actual savings on your property taxes. So, wanted to go over some details real quick with you. The first thing is, an important thing to know is once you have filed a homestead exemption, your homestead or your property value cannot go up more than 3% per year as far as your taxable assessed value. That's very important to do because...
I think somebody's trying to call in.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Do we have a caller? We have a caller. Bismarck. It's Mary from Bismarck. Okay. So anyway, what I was saying is, so it caps you at 3% a year, and over the last 5 years now, 4 years, we've been seeing appreciation up in around 10% and even over a little bit. So a 3% cap on your assessed value means that your value is actually rising faster than your taxable value is. So that's going to be important when I talk about portability, but we'll tell you what that's about next. The next thing you need to know is that once you file for homestead exemption, it automatically renews. So you only have to do it once, and that's when you buy a new house.
Right.
So
you can do that online. As I was going to say, you can do that online with the property appraiser's site, or you can go to write directly to the property appraiser and do that. It's simple, it's easy, and definitely worth doing, but we want to make sure you do that before March 1st.
Yes. Now also, to what you're going to need when you file the homestead exemption is you're going to need a valid driver's license showing your new address on it, social security number, and then one form of, another form of ID. It could be your voter registration card, or it could be there's a couple other forms that they take, but you'll need that information when you file your homestead exemption. You can get that all together.
And one of the things we do for our clients is that we do send them a reminder with that information, a link to the site, because there's different counties that we work with, so it is something we make sure that we follow through and have them do that. Right.
Homestead is filed with your county property appraiser. So if you live in Orange County, you go to the Orange County Property Appraiser, which is Rick Singh's office, or if you go to, if you live in Seminole or Osceola, you got to go to your county property appraiser's site. So I want to tell you a little bit about how portability works. This is another great thing. We have a program here in Florida called Save Our Homes, which allows portability. So if you have, remember I mentioned that your taxable value can only go up 3% a year maximum, no matter what the values do, and we've seen skyrocketing values. you don't lose the advantage that you just gained when you move. So in other words, if you buy a new house this year, you're not starting over with your taxable value, because we have something that's called portability, which allows you to bring your savings over. So I'm going to show you an example. I'm going to bring this whiteboard over here. I'm going to show you an example of what I'm talking about. Okay.
I feel like Vanna White.
Yes. All right, so let's say that you have a house that is worth $400,000. Okay? That is we'll call that the market value of your home. Then, over time, you have gained, because the value has gone up, you have gained some appreciation in the house, making it worth $400,000, but your taxable value is only worth $300,000. So you're only taxed on $300,000. Okay, so the difference there is obviously $100,000. When you move, you get to take that $100,000 decrease in your taxable value with you. So let's say the next house you buy is now, let's say you moved up and you bought a $500,000 house. And now when you move, you're basically kind of going to get reassessed, but you automatically get to take that $100,000 that you had at your old house and apply that to your new house. So now your taxable value on your $500,000 house is now $400,000. That again is going to save you. You're not only saving on the taxable value, but then you also, remember, get to file your homestead on top of that.
Right. So then you're going to be another $50,000 less.
Exactly. So
right.
It's another $50,000 less. So if you moved from a $400,000 to a $500,000, but your taxable value was $300,000, you're basically going to be paying taxes on $350,000 on your new $500,000 home. That's the way it works if you're moving up. If you're moving down, they do it a little differently. They do it according to your percentage. So whatever percentage you had, in this case, $300,000 to $400,000 is a 75% is what your taxable value is. So if you moved to a $200,000 home, they would just tax you on 75% of that, which would be $150,000. So you'd be saving $50,000 there. So that's kind of how portability works. And then again, take off that $50,000 for your homestead exemption, and that'll save you a lot of money. If you forget to do that, though, then you've basically got to wait till the next year. Yeah. So be sure, March 1st. It's got to be done by then, absolutely. And we've only got a couple weeks left before then, so make sure you file your homestead exemption.
Yep, that was a great question and something that will save people money. So
yes,
we're all about that.
Absolutely.
So,
So tune in next week for. We decided that earlier in the show we decided that we're going to call this Realty and Realty with Greg and Erica. Yep. So I think we're gonna do up a logo, maybe like a little logo, maybe make a jingle or something like that. Well, yeah, we'll make up a jingle or something like that. So.
All right. And speaking of jingles, it makes me think about radio.
Oh, yeah.
And you have, we actually are doing, Greg is going to be on the radio this Sunday.
This Sunday at 3 o'clock on WDBO, 96.5 FM.
It's 3 o'clock?
I think it's 3 o'clock. It might be 4 o'clock.
All right. I'm not sure. I thought it was 4. So we'll double check it and we'll post that so you can tune in and listen to that. It's
we'll be talking all kinds of
show.
Most of the talking that I did on this show was really about selling homes and the marketing that we do at the Stevens Group to list those homes and get them in front of the most buyers. So be sure to tune into that and listen. I've got some great stuff on that show. 96.5 this Sunday.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. And thank you again for listening. Hope that you think of some questions and get back to us. Let us know so we have some other things to talk to you about.
All right. We'll see you next week.
All right. Have a good weekend.
Bye.
Bye.